Rent free. Rent free. Rent free. Lives in your head rent free. Rent free. Rent free. Rent free. Lives in your head rent free.
All right. Is that enough time for the intro? St. Louis Blues. All right. Rent Free with Tech Supreme, episode number 23, Michael Jordan mode. This episode is sponsored by MC Dudes Podcast. MC Dudes Podcast is a podcast all about Marvel and the Marvel Cinematic Universe between me and Caleb, aka Lub Wub. You can hear it everywhere you hear streaming your podcast, also in video format on YouTube, just like Rent Free with Tech Supreme. So thank you to the sponsors of this video, which is me and Caleb. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Tech Supreme. We are back with another episode, and we are working on our consistency. We got episode 23 we're doing now, so I'm doing better already, guys. Hey, thank you for the feedback from the last episode. I appreciate it. Got a lot of positive energy. A lot of people were like, hey, thanks for coming back. Thanks for doing it again. And, they understand that I'm going through the processes that I'm going through with grief, but we're still pushing forward and pushing through and trying to live today as well as we can live it, right? And getting ready for tomorrow. So having said that, I got my list of things here. So if you see me looking down, I'm looking at my phone for my notes. So when I wrote down a note, so how I do these episodes, I feel like my lips are white. How I do these episodes is I kind of go through my Twitter page, and I go through just like news, and I kind of figure out like what's on my mind this week, right? Usually the Twitter feed kind of gives you that because it's kind of my thought vomit. I kind of use Twitter as a thought vomit dumping grounds. So I write down these lists of things, and when I wrote this was like 2 days ago. The first topic was St. Louis Blues letdown. Now, I decided to wait to record this episode today because we had Game 5 last night, and I was in for a ride emotionally as a Blues fan. We came back down 3 points to win it in overtime. So shout out to St. Louis Blues for that. Shout out to Ville Husso. I've been very critical of Ville Husso because as a goalie, he has definitely not met up to expectations he set forth during the season, but with Binnington being injured, he's who we have, and it's been rough. But game last night went really well for the Blues. They won 5-4 in overtime, thanks to a Bozak's goal in the final seconds in overtime. Well, not the final seconds, but once you score in overtime, it's game over. So he ended that for us. So we look forward to Game 6 tomorrow. If we win tomorrow, we'll be back in St. Louis tomorrow. If we win tomorrow, I wholeheartedly believe we can win the Stanley Cup. Period. I know that's like a crazy bold prediction, not really, but I mean, you believe your team's going to win no matter what. But if we win tomorrow, we tie it up, we're going to have that energy going into Game 7. And the Blues, they know how to respond. They've been here before. A lot of the players have been here before. Yesterday, what we got, I'm not sure, I know, not everyone's into hockey, but the game we got last night, a lot of the problems that they weren't getting support, like the players weren't support, like the David Perron was doing well, and Ryan O'Reilly had been our main scorers, but we needed more support, and I think last night we got that. So we look forward to Game 6 tomorrow. Super excited about the St. Louis Blues. I love the Blues hockey. My friends got me into it maybe, 6-7 years ago. We went to a Blues game, and I had never been, and they was like, hey, do you want to go? And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And I immediately fell in love with that sport. Going there live and seeing it 100% changed my views on the game. Period. It's an awesome sport, awesome game. We won the Stanley Cup 3 years ago, so it's been a good. As far as being a new fan of a sport, I got in at a great time because St. Louis Blues has just been phenomenal with Vladimir Tarasenko and Ryan O'Reilly. I miss Pat Maroon. It's been a great run. So shout out to the Blues. So trailer breakdowns. My second topic of the day is trailer breakdowns. Love and Thunder. You guys know I'm a big Marvel fan. That's why the MC Dudes podcast even exists. Me and Caleb both love Marvel. And they had a Thor Love and Thunder trailer that released during the playoff game on Monday. And I think people, I just miss the days of the trailers being in movie theaters, not on YouTube, not like just like, oh, here's a trailer. Like you had to go to the movies to see a trailer, and you would talk about it with your friends if they saw it. You'd actually even break it down to where like what movie is coming out this week that's going to have this trailer. You know, like it was really a moment. And now I feel like it's just not only is it like just too easily accessible, so I don't get as excited for movies, but it also everyone with their YouTube videos doing the breakdowns, in which I love. I love some of them, right? The Screen Crush guys, the heavy spoilers. He's fucking hilarious. But do we need to go frame by frame on these trailers? Like, do we even like it? Like, do you like the movie? If you do that, because like you kind of like forcing yourself to be to know what's gonna happen. I don't want to know the plot when I go to a movie. I don't want to know what happens to Doctor Strange. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to know who he battles. I want to know bare minimum, right? I want to know who's the hero, who's the villain, and that's pretty much it, really. You know, like I know it's gonna look good. I know it's gonna be dope, but like you don't have to give me all the key points in your trailer. I love what the Russo brothers did with the Endgame and Infinity War trailer because they just did the first 15 minutes of the movie. Like that's it. So like they that's how you kind of build anticipation for a 2.5, 3 hour movie is you only show just a little sliver of it. You don't have to show the whole thing. And I feel like with Doctor Strange, they showed off a lot, where everyone was kind of breaking down who this person is and who that like oh, this is the villain, like this is the misdirect they're trying to do. Like no, like let them tell the story. But at the studio level, stop with putting so much into the trailer. Like, you don't have to do that with Thor. We're going to go see it. It's Thor. It's Chris Hemsworth. Hello. We're going to go see it. Well, you don't have to give us all the key points, right? And they always like, a lot of these movies, they have like a little joke here and there within the movie, but they put that in the trailer because they want people to come see the movie because they want something to attract them. But you're kind of spoiling that joke because you don't have that many jokes in the movie. So stop it, right? Stop it. Stop with this. We got to minimalize. Go back to the minimalistic trailers. Like, just give us teaser trailers. And but the problem is they want people to go see the movies who wouldn't normally go see the movies. So they want as many people to go as possible. And I get that. Like, it's a business. But as a fan, I feel like the spoilers, the trailer spoiler crews. And the trailer in itself is just too much. And they need to scale it back. Let me know what you think down in the comments about trailers. Are they too much? Do they give away too much? Do they ruin the movie for you? Because sometimes I do feel like certain things would hit harder if I didn't see it already in a minute-long trailer. Like, let's get trailers be like 2.5 minutes long. Like, let's make it a 60-second trailer, 30-second trailer, right? Like, boom, boom, boom. This is the date. Like, either you're into it or you're not. Like, just don't try to convey a story. Just slightly entice me, I guess. I don't know. It's a weird balance, but they used to do it really well. Where I'd never felt this before until recently that I was getting spoiled with trailers. One thing that stuck in my mind was a TikTok that I saw. I forgot the name of the creator, but it was about the whole world being made up. And this is super interesting to me because it's not saying that the world is a matrix or whatever, like it's not a simulation, but that everything that we do is literally someone invented, right? So me talking into a camera with lights around me, someone invented that, right? Language, money, sexual orientations, all these things are social constructs that someone somewhere hundreds of years ago was created and said it's a good idea. So that's a way, I think, if you look at the world that way, you can kind of see that the things that we invest our emotions in are kind of a fallacy, right? A lot of people, they get heavily infected and into the numbers of social media, but that's a company. Those people in the boardroom making those decisions that you are basing your life on, and people have killed themselves or gotten killed because of social media. And if you really think about it, that's some wildly dumb shit. Like, no offense to the people who've lost their lives, but like, it's just an algorithm. It's just a man-made thing, and most things are, right? So like, there are people who like, we're coming up on Pride Month. There's people who like are scared to tell their families because of their reaction, and the reactions are super horrible, and that's only because of society and like the way people are thinking other people are viewing them and this and that. When really we're just fucking meat, flesh, flying through space on a rock. They, you know, like, we've created these rules, which are, some rules are great. I appreciate it, like laws and shit, and it keeps everything in check. But like all these like social things that people like live and die by, we're just aliens, on a planet. It's weird, and I'm not high enough for this, and this is the morning time, so I'm not really like in a super philosophical mode. But you get what I'm saying, right? Like, why do we do these things? Because like someone said 100 years ago that we should do them. Like, sure, but like let's be more good people. Like, I think that's the basis of kind of me, is just be a good person. Like, you don't have to subscribe to this, you don't have to be that. Just be a good person no matter what. Like this guy, I was in Sam's Monday, and this guy was obviously like, I had gotten in line, and this guy was like fucking holding his, like doing something on the side of me. He literally just walks up and just like gets right next to me and starts moving with the line. There's literally people behind me. So like basically what happened was he was doing something, the line started forming, and he didn't want to go to the back of the line, so he just figured he's going to scooch in front of me, right? So like I'm looking at him like I want to pop off, and that's just kind of my personality. But then I was just like, you know what? Fuck this guy, right? This is, let's whatever. So he was like, so when the moment came in which someone had to make a move, he was like, oh, you go ahead. I'm like, nope, you go ahead, sir. Have a great day. Like, just fuck it. Just be a good person. Even when I didn't want to be, I wanted to pop off. So yeah, and I think he was expecting me to be rude too. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm just not into that shit. Like you just being extra. I got time. Go ahead. Fuck it. Be a good person. Next up, I had a real life nightmare this week. I had a real life actual nightmare come to fruition. Like legitimately, since maybe 10 years old, since I saw a movie called Arachnophobia, I've had this particular nightmare because of one scene within this movie. Now, I wake up Monday morning, and I drink a lot of water, so I gotta go to the bathroom a lot. That's just what happens with it. I was going downstairs. I had just woken up. I went to the bathroom upstairs, played on my phone a little bit, had to use the bathroom again, maybe 30 minutes, hour later. I don't even know. So I go downstairs, and I go to our main floor bathroom, and I start urinating. Nothing out of the ordinary. I flush the toilet, and I see this spider about this big, right? Elongated. He had to be about this big, struggling with the current of the flush. And he's fighting it and trying to climb back up. This motherfucker goes back to where he was underneath the rim, right? So the toilet basin and the little area that underneath it, you got to get your hand under the scrub, right? Where the water comes out. He was there, so I can see this spider. I'll put a picture up. I see this spider there, and I realized that what if I wasn't peeing and I was doing number two? That spider was right there in the toilet. Literally could just go like this and just it's literally a fear of mine. That and snakes. Like snakes in the toilet. I've never seen it. I've seen pictures of it. I don't want to see it. And I never want to see a spider in the toilet. Because, all right, let's be honest, right? When dogs go outside to use the bathroom, they look at you because they know they're vulnerable, right? So they want your assurance that if it's okay. So that's why they make eye contact with you. If you ever notice your dog doing that, that's why. Also, if you're in the bathroom and the dog is outside the door, he knows that you're using the bathroom. He or she knows that you're using the bathroom, and they want to protect you. That's why they do that. When you're sitting down on the toilet, you're literally in the most vulnerable spot. Malcolm X, the movie. When did they get Malcolm X in the movie? When he was using the bathroom. You're vulnerable, right? I was vulnerable when I sit down on the toilet. But thank God I didn't then, because that's when the spider, the predatory, evil spider would have attacked me. He would have. There's no way around it. That's what he would have done. Because he's scared. He sees the moon, the lights going down, like the sun getting eclipsed. He's scared. He had to fight. He would have had to fight. And he would have fight me in my special area. It's scary. Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Nightmare. I have the rest of the day. I would flush the toilet first just to see anything trickle down. That's how nervous it made me for the rest of the day. Still nervous. Still thinking about it today. Actual nightmare. My next topic is just a moment, right? Just a brief moment in time. A creepy man at the bar. I met the creepiest man at a bar last weekend. Now, this is, there's no secret. Me and my wife enjoy. We live in a fun area of town. So we enjoy going to bars, and we've made a lot of friends at this one particular spot. And I'm not gonna go too in deep with the story, but listen, guys, listen. Not everyone's just because we're men doesn't mean that you can just tell me anything. Like, I don't want to know about your predatory ways, bro. Like, this older guy, 50s, 60s, had a dog with him, and he was talking about how this dog helps him get or loosens defenses of women so he can get. It was so gross, and I told everyone at the bar how gross this guy was, and one of the bartenders was like, "Now, you're a big man, big strong man, so you see it. Imagine if you're a woman," and it was terrifying, and it was like actually heartbreaking that women have to deal with that, and we know about it, and we talk about it, and we're aware of it, and we're trying. And I know personally, I've never wanted to be that guy. I remember me and Ben used to talk all the time about like talking to certain people at work. Like, you can't flirt with someone who's at work because they're paid to be nice to you. Like, so we've always been, my group of friends in particular, have always been cognizant of our role as men in society, right? Like, we want to be good people, good, sane, sober-minded, good people. But like, there's a lot of creeps out there, and it's terrifying, and I hate it. And like, it made me uncomfortable. I didn't want to say like, what the fuck you talk? Like, I didn't want to like be like aggressive, right? Because we're having a good time, we're having drinks, we're like, I don't like, just we don't really do that around here, like, it's hard to explain, but it was just, I just feel so bad for women, and like, I want to know, like, do you call out your friends? I definitely do. Like, I probably could have done a better job in my 20s because I had some friends who would be like, yeah, you just got to pull your dick out. We probably could have shut that down a little harder, but, thankfully we don't have to do all that now. Like, we're all, no one talks like that anymore in our circle. But man, just fucking dudes are creeps, man. Dudes are horrible people. And, it's terrifying. So yeah, guys, if you see it, man, we got to make sure that we're vocal about that shit. We got to, make sure people know, like, hey, like, this guy right here said something right. You know what I mean? And let's have that conversation, albeit uncomfortable. So number 6, I was going to talk about virtual reality games, but we're going to skip that. Now, I try not to be super, super serious on this podcast, but the world, as a person who I feel a lot of emotions with the world. Like, I kind of go with it. It affects me, right? And we had the Buffalo shooting, which for some reason the Johnny Depp Amber Heard case is getting way more publicity than that, and Chris Rock and Will Smith slap getting way more media attention than what happened in Buffalo, New York, where the white supremacists killed 10 people of color with that intent mission. That bothers me. That baffles me that people care more about the dumb shit than they do, and I think it's because the media makes it that way, right? Like, they obviously, it's a tragedy. I don't understand why it's not like something like we're all just talking about constantly just so we can stop it, right? Like, why do people care about this trivial stuff? But I think people choose to care about the trivial stuff because it makes it easier to process. They don't want to have to deal with the thought that they can die in a grocery store just for existing. So they take these distractions and they just. Maybe some people just don't give a fuck, right? Like, they just, hey, like, it's not me, it didn't happen to me, so I don't care. Eminem had a line in the song that says, "I'm a bad guy that laughs at people who die in plane crashes and laughs as long as it ain't happen to him." So, like, there's this, like, a thing that people just stop caring, but, like, I can't do that. And for, like, ever since it happened in Buffalo, I've been thinking, like, man, if I go in the store, like, I have to look around, like, I'm scared, because, like, and that's what it is. It's fear. Like, I don't want to, like, be in that situation, and it can happen to anybody. And I think people are like, are picking up on the discourse on the process that all these victims are saying, like, you always think it's going to happen, but not here, but it can happen here, And this week we had another terrible tragedy. Probably this is one of the worst tragedies I've seen in my lifetime. I've seen quite a bit, with the shooting in the Texas school with 19 children, being killed by just some fucking guy. And I hate thoughts and prayers. I hate it. I'm never going to say it, right? And I hate the gun reform talk. It feels all performative. and you have like senators who are like trying to pop off on camera, but for them it's just a photo op. It's just a camera opportunity to get votes. Like it's all performative. Everything that we're doing is performative, and I'm just kind of like wishing as a society we can just get together and just finally do something about it, right? Even if it's something as simple as banning this AR-15, because this is the weapon of choice of these people who want to kill multiple people at a time. No 18, 19-year-old needs an AR-15. No human being, no civilian needs an AR-15. No one needs tactical gear. We don't need these things. Why are these being sold to children who are doing 2 days later coming up shooting the shit out of people? Like, why? Why does Kyle Rittenhouse have a rifle and he's like not fucking in jail because he's a 17-year-old with a fucking rifle shooting at people? Like, what are we doing as a society with these guns? Like, what are we proving? Like, why do you need them? You don't. You don't need them. If you're Senka for hunting, for the hunters, fuck the hunters. Fuck the hunting community. We're not even doing that for a specific reason. You're doing it for fucking sport. So fuck the hunting community. We don't need guns. We don't need rifles. Now, we need some home protection, but even some countries are like, fuck, that's not a good enough reason. Australia's like, home protection is not a good enough reason to have guns. Simple as that. Why can't we model ourselves after these other countries who seem to have gotten it right? Why are we the only country with an insane, out of control gun violent situation? I don't get it. I don't have the answers. No one does, but everyone wants to get on their platforms and say these things because it's performative and they're supposed to. But like, nobody's doing anything. No one's doing anything. Nobody. All of us, pieces of shit, not doing anything. Not protecting our kids, not protecting ourselves, not protecting our people of color, not protecting our LGBTQ. We're not doing anything. None of this is. None of it. We're just all just fucking saying the same shit over and over and over again and the same results. And the people who are just going to do these things are just going to do these things. And I don't have the answers. That's the point of this. No one does. No one's doing anything. I mean, it's just logic, bare minimum. Ban the thing that their people are using, right? Like, okay, they use this, ban it. That's what Australia did. Or was it UK? Like, oh, we had a massacre. I forgot what country. Let me know what country it is. But there was a massacre in the country in the 80s. And they're like, oh, cool, no guns for nobody. Yep, that's it. End of story. Yeah, someone fucked it up. No guns for everybody. We don't need them in our society. Okay, sorry about that. That's my deep thought of the day, and I didn't want to talk about it first because I didn't want it to be the tone of it, but like we also have a horrible way of ignoring things like that make us uncomfortable. I see a lot of that every single day on social media. This is the way people react to news. Very dismissive, and it's not out of indifference. It's out of fear, and it's taking the easy way out, but you have to talk about these things. And so now we're going to do like a complete shift in topics. Hoochie Daddy season. It is Hoochie Daddy season. And if you don't know what Hoochie Daddy season is, that's fine. You may not know exactly, but Hoochie Daddy season is, how Hot Girl Summer, right? And then Chet Hanks tried to do White Boy Summer. That didn't work out. But Hoochie Daddy season is basically this summer we are going to enjoy ourselves as men, and not even as men. That's stupid. It's all stupid. And you shouldn't have a podcast and talk about what men should do, but the whole thing is short shorts and just being body positive, which everyone needs to do that. Doesn't even matter if you're a man, woman, or however you identify. Just be positive, be happy with yourself. Obviously this summer, I'm not going to be at the weight that I wanted to be because my cut went really well over the winter, and it went really well in January, and in February when we got a golf cart, it started trickling down. So I'm definitely flatlined in my progress, but I'm trying my best to eat super clean during the week. But it'd be a lot of fun shit happening in the weekends. I got a DJ gig this Saturday at Shady Jack's just for 30 minutes at a biker festival for the Midwest Avengers. Looking forward to it. But it's going to be a fun time. Afterwards, I'm going to want to hang out with my friends, get some cold ones, have a positive good time. So, but yeah, this summer, don't be so hard on yourself. It's okay. Just try to keep your health in mind, make the good decisions. But when it's time to have fun and relax, and don't be so worried about how you look, how you think people expect you to look, or how you think people want you to look, or how you should look. Like, just be okay with yourself today, because you are enough and you are beautiful, and all the positive energy that you deserve is within you. You just got to manifest it. You got to bring it out. So nobody, for the most part, is where they want to be as far as looks are concerned. So don't be so hard on yourself. And that's kind of the true essence of what body positivity is. I'm still going to get my big ass on my bike for the naked bike ride. I'm going to be half naked and I don't give a fuck. I'm 50 pounds lighter than I was the year before. I'm not where I want to be, but that's okay too. You know what I mean? It's like, live your life, because back to the hard shit, we don't know when it's going to end. So you just got to fucking do your best to enjoy every single day and every single moment. Don't waste these moments, these time, being hard on yourself, being self-deprecating, being unhappy with yourself, because you are beautiful. You made it. You're the fucking sperm and the egg thing that happened out of fucking all that shit down there. You made it. You're here. We're here. Fucking love each other. Love yourselves first, though. You know what I mean? And that's kind of one of my main things in life. Like, just love yourself and love others. Gonna close the show out. It's I had a couple more topics, but they were kind of just topics. I was gonna talk about St. Louis Fan Expo just real quick. That was so basically Comic-Con. It was the Wizard World thing years ago, but they took the pandemic off and now they're back, and now it's Fan Expo, and it was really fun. I enjoyed it. I enjoy all the cosplay. I enjoy all the nerds coming together, because I'm a super nerd, and I'm probably the coolest nerd on the planet, literally. But it was fun, good times. I got some good Funkos. There's a couple. Got some good artwork from some artists there. Bought some work from Ben Sawyer, who's an amazing artist. I got some work from this guy from Georgia. I forgot his name, but he gave me some prints. Maybe I'll put a picture up of it. Probably won't. I'll share it on social media when I get it hung up. I got it framed, as well as a piece from Ben Sawyer that I got framed. So, but yeah, that was super dope. And the other topic I was going to talk about, it doesn't even matter. So this is the part of the episode where I just thank you for being a listener. I do appreciate you tuning in. I do appreciate everyone who sent me a message when I brought it back last week, the podcast. Sorry about that wait, the delays. I'm working on being more consistent, so just going to do it one day at a time. Yeah. If you want to see more episodes, go to my YouTube, youtube.com/TechSupreme1, I believe, or you can just search Tech Supreme rent free. It'll pop up. If you're interested in the MC Douche podcast with Caleb, that's also on my YouTube, as well as everywhere you stream podcasts, as well as this. So do me a strong favor. If you're whatever platform you're on, find whatever button has a heart next to it and click it. I do appreciate that. If you're new, if it's the first time you hear my voice, hit that follow button if you like what you heard, and give me feedback. If you're new, old, feedback. We need it. Thank you again. Be a good person. Be a great person. And I will see you guys on the next time. Thank you for listening to Rent Free with Tech Supreme. Peace.
Rent free. Rent free.